be. Welcome to it. You are listening. There we are. We have got a great guest we're going to be joined by here in just a few moments. He is going to join us today on the old Skip Skype. Yes, the Skype-a-rooney. And we have got a great guest with us today here on our big program. Go ahead and give me a brief introduction on yourself, my friend. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Doug Sparks. I'm an independent songwriter and music producer. And I've been producing music on my own for like well over a decade. And I finally decided, after we accumulated a lot of really great material and with the great musicians that I've been working with here in LA, I decided it was time to put out this music in a kind of unusual way.
So, how did you get started doing the music thing?
It was something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. But I think a lot of people go through this. You want to do something, but then you kind of get distracted by other things in life, or maybe you don't think you can do it or don't have the confidence. But finally, about 15 years ago, I just decided, hey, I need to do this. In other words, it kept calling me. And so it took me a few years to get all the crappy songs out of the way. And because
crappy
you start
songs
writing,
out of the way.
You don't start writing hits immediately unless you're really, really blessed. And then I also didn't like the way that people were producing the songs that I co-wrote or wrote. So I decided it'd be good for me just to assemble my own production team. So I connected with a guy named Chris Hastings here in LA, and then in turn I connected with a lot of high-profile studio musicians and violinists, guitarists, drummers, and then poured a lot of money into producing the songs. And nothing else is a lot of fun, and we produced some good work. And but I really didn't know anything about the music business as far as promoting music, so I just pushed out an album a few years ago and didn't do anything with it. But now we're doing it right. We're doing singles, and we're trying our best to promote the music, and we're to get some traction.
Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. The incredible Los Angeles-based music production team NoVanGogh has released an incredible single, You're Right There, a heartfelt pop anthem that serves as a beacon of reassurance. And Doug Sparks joins us today here via the magic of the old Skip Skype. Yes, the old Skype-a-rooney. As we enter our final days with the old Skype-a-rooney. Because apparently Microsoft has decided, hey, this is a really good software that people have been using since the early 2000s.
Yeah, so let's get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it. So they are slowly but surely sending everybody over to Teams, which I probably will not be using Teams. I don't want to use Zoom, but I think we may end up going with Zoom. I don't know. But
well, I'm honored to be on one of your final Skype shows.
I know this is freaking amazing. Our when I discovered doing this show via Skype, and then eventually became we called it the old Skype-a-rooney. The only people who knew how to do Skype in 2007 were porn stars and an Amish author. He had the hat, the whole 9 yards. And over the years, people have started using Skype, and I started having the musicians and political people, and we started having more people on this show. And I just like Skype. I've never understand Zoom. I thought it was funny that during the pandemic, when all the righties were yelling and screaming about Chinese this, Chinese that, they were all about Zoom, which was a Chinese product. So I always thought it was amazing that that's what they did, which is fine. Cool.
Well, I'm with you on Zoom. I can't stand using
I can't
Zoom.
stand Zoom. We a little behind the scenes here on how we do things. We have a broadcast platform that we use called ManyCam, which is it takes a thing called an NDI input, and Skype has an NDI input, and so I can put the calls in, and then I can use all the cool little graphics and all my stuff, and we can do the video TV side of this thing, and then I record the audio on the production computer here. And Zoom, I guess Zoom has an NDI input, but I don't know. The only thing that I like about Zoom is that for whatever reason, ManyCam, when I have the green screen up, doesn't want to work with my green screen. However, Zoom loves my green screen. And so there's been a few times where I've had business meetings with people, and I've had them back to back to back to back to back. And one night I just decided, hell, every time I'm on Zoom, I'll just switch the green screen background. And there was one of the people that was in the meetings with me along the way was like, at the end of the meeting, she calls me on the phone and she's like, I noticed that your Zoom background changed every single time we had a different meeting. And I said, good, I'm glad someone noticed. But, yeah, I don't understand the Skype thing. I think it's amazing, though, that after I paid for our Skype Premium that we pay for every year, where we're able to call regular phones, we can do Skype to phone and all this stuff. That's when Microsoft announced we're done with Skype. I'm like, okay, they got everybody's cash. So now, whoop.
The customer is always wrong.
That's right. That's right. But besides the fact that, you know, Bill Gates is running around the world doing all sorts of weird things with the medical industry and all sorts of weird things that Bill Gates is involved in, he also has decided he's getting rid of Skype. So just gives me another reason to hate Bill Gates. But we have got a great guest with us today. Douglas Sparks joins us. NoVanGogh, which is amazing. So tell me a little bit about this NoVanGogh thing. I love this.
Yeah, so here's the deal. When I started toying with the idea of releasing the music that Chris and I were producing, yes, I wasn't going to release it under Doug Sparks because, first of all, I'm more of a behind-the-scenes guy. I either write the songs on my own or I co-write them with whoever my writing partners at the time, and I bring in the musicians and then produce the track and all that other stuff. But I'm not performing, and nobody want to see me perform anyway. You know, fine. And the other problem was a lot of musicians I use because of union issues, because they might have label deals. Yeah. I can't release under their name. So what do I do with this? I don't know. I was looking at a Van Gogh painting, and I said, well, hey, you know, this is art. We're doing art. We're using mostly, you know, we're using real instruments. And we're writing original music. It is art. It's not painting though, so it's not a Van Gogh. So it's NoVanGogh. And so that seemed to work, and for some crazy reason. So I stuck with it. In fact, the video that we just produced and the artwork. Well, let me backtrack for a second. The artwork that we did for these first 3 singles that we're releasing is all Van Gogh based. Like You're Right There is a modernized take on what Van Gogh would look like if he was playing a guitar and singing the song, and then we have a similar theme for the next 2 singles, and then the video that we produce also has the video for You're Right There is kind of like a NoVanGogh acid trip, and then the next video, which I'm not going to divulge too much about yet, is going to look like a bit like a Van Gogh and his buddies are actually performing on stage. So
that's amazing.
That's kind of where we're at on that.
That's amazing. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live Here on our big broadcast, Doug Sparks is with us. He joins us here on our big program. So we are going to play You're Right There. Give us a little bit of details on this, and then we're going to play this track, my friend.
Yeah, I was in a really, really bad relationship, and which a lot of people can identify with. And I started to write down all the things that I hated about this relationship, and why. But then I thought, what if I reverse all this stuff and make it the opposite of what it is, make it positive? And then I started writing. I don't have to wonder. I don't have to wonder how much you care. And all this, and because I know you always, there, whenever I'm feeling low, and all this other stuff. So I wrote it up and I took it to my friend, guitar player, Robin Goodchild, to have him, so we could write the song together. The song wrote itself. We had the song pretty much demoed within about 15, 20 minutes, and then about a few weeks later, got the drummer, got my bass player. This song was actually recorded a number of years ago, and the bass player on it has passed since then. It was Andrew Gold, and so we got him, and then I got Brant Cole on drums, and we got my friend Billy on piano, and we recorded it. We put it all down, and then I decided it would work better as a duet. So then we brought in Lydia to make it more like a duet, and once we did that, I think I was really, really happy with it. And the song kind of sat dormant for several years because nobody seemed to be all that interested in it. I guess maybe because at that time maybe there wasn't a taste for that particular style. But then a few months ago, I should say, I submitted it for some licensing, and even though it didn't get placed, the A&R people came back and said, "Hey, this is a really good song. We're going to forward this on." Whereas a few years ago, it would have been ignored. So I decided, well, we're going to put singles out. Let me take a chance on this one and stick it out there. And so far, the people that have heard it seem to like it, and I'm very happy by that.
That is amazing. Well, we are going to do this. I'm going to put you on a brief hold here on Skype. We're going to play this track, and when we come back, we will have more with Douglas Sparks. He joins us here on our big program, and if you're joining us here on our broadcast, thank you as well. And Peter needs to get the hell out of the way so I can play this track. Thank you.
I don't have to wonder if you'll take my hand. back again.
Guest joins us here on our big broadcast. So we are going to go back to Douglas Sparks. He is going to join us here on our big program. Douglas Sparks is back with us here on our big broadcast, known the world over as the Jiggy Jaguar Experience. Get a hold of us online over there at KJAGradio.com. And Douglas Sparks with us today. So, Douglas, what's been the reaction to that song?
People have just come out and said that it kind of it's a good example of Brit pop, and they find it just very very uplifting, and they like the whole vibe of the vibe of the song, and yeah, that pretty much sums up the typical comments that I've been getting so far.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have got Douglas Sparks with us today. So talk to us a little bit about your writing process and what the heck it's like to put a song like this together.
Well, yeah, as I mentioned before, on this one, I wrote out the lyrics after I decided to flip the bad relationship on its side,
Yeah.
or and make some lemonade out of lemons, and then I already had an appointment to write some sort of song with Robin Goodchild, who is a UK based guitar player, and he was living here in LA at the time, and still does live here, and so the process was. Well, first of all, no two songs are alike. So, I mean, I'll give you the process for this one, but they're all different. I mean, some songs take months and months to perfect, and some songs are like magic, and they come together very, very quickly. This one is one of the ones that just came together very quickly. We sat down. I fed him my melody idea for the opening line. I don't have to wonder if you'll be around to calm me down. And I fed him that, and then he sang it back to me, and I said, yeah, that's what I want. And then he had his guitar, and he came up with the chords for it, and then we went on to the rest of the song. I didn't have the bridge at the time. The bridge just kind of popped in my head because we needed something to break up the song. So after the second verse. I just the bridge just said, I know I was okay before, but now you've given me much more. How can I go back again? And that just seemed to fit perfectly. And then I decided I didn't know how to end the song at that time. So when we went in the studio, just decided to kind of just do a refrain of the chorus, and I'll make it almost and just get layers and layers of vocals uh, onto the ending of the song, along with um, and then some guitar riffs, and but still didn't have a definitive ending for it. I didn't want to just fade it out. So then I worked with Billy Malpede, who I worked with before, and we came up with a we worked together and we came up with a piano ending for the song, which is kind of unusual because the song starts with acoustic guitar, and the piano is not really all that prominent until the very end. And it took about a month. It took about 6 weeks, I think, working a few times every week in the studio to get the track down uh, the way that I wanted it. I hope that answers your question.
Oh yeah,
So
I love it.
yeah, so
I love it. So Doug, what is next for you and everyone else that you're working with?
well, we've we have we have two more singles coming out. These singles are newer. As I mentioned before, "You're Right There" was a track that I revived from a few years ago. The next two singles are actually tracks that were just finished last year, and they'll sound completely different than "You're Right There." I don't like to repeat myself. I love different genres and styles of music, and I also like to mix and mash things up. And so this next song is going to have kind of a Motown gospel throwback flavor to it, and then the song after that, I guess you can say is going to be a more of an inspirational song, not not a religious song, but kind of a general song about just uplifting yourself. That song has kind of a semi reggae, semi police vibe to it, and I'm excited to get the reaction to those two singles once they come out, and then we have Chris and I have a bunch of other songs that are already finished or in the can, and so we'll be putting those out as well. And I have and after we resume production in probably in a couple of months from now, um, we have some brand new song ideas to get to start pushing out.
Well, that is amazing. You have got quite the catalog here. How do we get your music and buy your stuff online and get involved with what you guys are doing?
Um, the well, the music is available on for purchase on the iTunes music store, and also and and it's also available Amazon, and of course the songs are available for streaming on Amazon. I mean, excuse me, not Amazon, Spotify, and other platforms that I can't. And then there's a website called there's a there's a YouTube site. It's called NoVanGogh Official, and that has the music videos for the songs, and yeah, those would be the primary platforms to get the music.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. Douglas Sparks is with us. He is amazing. So talk to us a little bit about, some of your goals and aspirations for this whole thing.
Well, I'm not a greedy man. I would, if I, the main thing I would like this music to be heard, like any other writer musician. I would like this music to be heard by as many people as possible, and I would love for people to enjoy it. And also, I think that this. I'm going to toot my horn for a second. I think the music is compared to. I'm not putting down current pop music, but compared to some of the pop music that I've heard, um, that at least to my ears, a lot of it tends to sound like everything that came before it, and 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 doesn't really. I think this music will. If I think if once we can get people to listen to it, I think it will come across as a kind of a refreshing change of pace and a breath of fresh air because it's not it's not words or lyrics written over a top line and or it's not trying to copy whatever the hit was last week or last month. It's doing its own thing, and and and, and I think that the goal is to just get as much of this out there as possible. And if we can make if we can make a fair amount of money in the process, that would of course would be great as well. And because all this music is not cheap to produce, but it's been a labor of love to put this music out. And no matter what happens with it, we will continue to keep producing it and until we eventually and hopefully find the right audience for this.
Fantastic. Well, you have been amazing. I really have enjoyed chatting with you today. Thanks for coming on and chatting, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you for bringing us some good stuff today, my friend.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. There he goes. That is Douglas Sparks with us today here on our big program, and you can get a hold of us online over there at jiggyjaguar.com. That is JIGGYJAGUAR.com. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have got more coming up. You are listening to the Sunday Radio Show.